I knew it was getting close. It's 9 o'clock, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on the agenda is approve the minutes of December 23rd as written.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson.
I'll abstain.
One abstain. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Yes, one abstention. Okay, miscellaneous motions. Moved to authorize direct chairman to sign one tax abatement in the amount of $99.80. It's for a Polaris Ranger that was, the individual's moved. It's in my area, I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, on recommendation of the county clerk, moved to authorize direct chairman to sign year 2025 cereal malt beverage license to Travel Center of America located at 2775 US Highway 75, Lebo, Kansas. I will move. Second. Moved by Knight, seconded by Higgins.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On recommendation of the county clerk, moved to authorize the chairman to sign year 2025 cereal malt beverage license for Conoco Travel Center / Cedar Valley Investments, DBA Fuel Espresso 11, located at 2754 US Highway 75 Northwest, Lebo, Kansas.
I'll move.
I'll second. Moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That ends our miscellaneous motions. River City Construction, weekly jail construction update.
Yes, sir. Moving on inside, the masons finished up the 2 activity room walls where we had the opening for the cells. We actually were pushing back the cell this morning. Had to get a little extra manpower to get that rolled back in place, but it'll be set today. The MEP, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing rough ends, are working from the south half, working the kitchen up the secure corridor and into the sheriff's office. The ductwork should be started probably the end of this week, if not first of next week, in the sheriff's office, and they'll be working their way out. The interior framing, they are working in the jail area, and as they get that completed or free up some guys, they will probably start maybe hanging a little sheetrock in the jail area as their next area, as they get they're working on the soffits in the jail area, so that'll take a little bit. It's pretty cut up. All the security mesh and the high impact sheetrock up above the ceiling. The masons are working their way out of the building. It'll probably be next week or the week after, and they're going to start closing in that brick. We got to get the air barrier on it, and then we will be complete exterior brick wise after that, and they will be pretty well out of here. Got, I believe, almost everything besides maybe a few chase walls inside. Masonry complete. Level 2, the sheetrock finishers were here through the weekend, and they should be finishing up, I believe, tomorrow with sanding sheetrock upstairs. And we have the painter starting the end of this week and into next week, and we're basically going to turn him loose. He'll have the booking and intake, some of the jail areas he can start, and then level 2. So he's going to be busy, or be able to be busy, rather. I see what he brings manpower-wise, but no big push at this point, but there will be. Try to get him started early. The block fill takes a little time, just a lot of block walls to get a couple coats on. Any questions?
You know, it looks like starting January 1st, there's a lot of X's on this. It's gonna be a huge
Busy.
amount.
huge amount of activity taking place.
Yes, and we tried, as far as this, breaking it out a little bit more so everybody knows where to go, but there's a lot of people in a lot of areas. They're pulling in power. We have a the generator being set the 13th of January. It's getting pretty serious. All the big ticket items are starting to hit. Like I said, we got sheetrock finished upstairs. It looks almost like a building upstairs.
Yeah. You get all the units that you needed to
Yes,
on the, can't even think what I wanna say, but on top of.
yes, it went really well that Monday. They set them, the crane come in Sunday, said it very smooth Monday, and they were done. They expected a little carryover in Tuesday, but they actually got them all done on that Monday, which was a good thing. Get the crane out of here before Christmas.
Yeah. I mentioned the drainage here a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. You know, now that you got everything cleaned off the west side, and you can see, you know, the blacktop's 2 foot higher what the base is of the jail.
Yes.
South side's more yet. I'm sure you got a plan in place, but to me, water drainage could be it's gonna take a pretty good drainage program to keep a 6-inch rain away from it.
I don't remember what size pipe they put in back there, but with those drains, there's some pretty good trench drains back on that backside to help catch and direct that water out of there. And then it all runs, it comes from either side of the Sallyport, it'll run to the east, and then back to the north underneath the connector corridors where all that drainage piping goes. So it's got a couple inlets back there, but there's a lot of asphalt that's gonna direct some water.
Well, that drainage is something you can't see but driving by, so.
Right.
So-
There is, where the drains are gonna be, there's some black pipe stubbed up where those trench drains will be on either side of the Sallyport. When you are driving around, you can see where they are just roughed in until the concrete drains get installed. Other than that, trying to get through these 2 crazy weeks of holidays is never.
Mind numbing, isn't it?
It's terrible.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, yes, we'll start with Road and Bridge. Supervisor Adam, you're up. You're ready.
I wasn't ready, sorry, I didn't come dressed for the occasion, but
That's all right. I didn't either.
I just wanted to let you guys be aware. I talked to Henderson Trucks out of Missouri the other day, or before Christmas, and their Freightliner rep has thrown us a chassis price increase of $4,164 for the truck that we have a motion for, I think back in May, of $234,000 some change. So half of that, $2,082, will go towards that money that we encumbered into next year. I don't know what we need to do to proceed there, but
Do you have actual bids then?
no, I just have this email stating the price increase from the Freightliner rep
And the price increases on material?
is on the chassis, the truck itself,
The chassis,
chassis
okay.
itself,
So, have you already got a purchase order in?
not of the new price, no.
Okay, do we need to update that price?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you just wanna get that to us, we'll get it updated.
I can do that, and then the other half of that will be on the truck to receive in 2025. Bad news is, we're not gonna get either truck until 2025.
That's next week. This week.
Well, later in 2025. Looking probably more towards summertime before we get our trucks. The major holdup was the transmissions we run, the Allison 4500s. I don't know if Allison oversold themselves, but nobody can get chassis with those transmissions in them. So Henderson has 2 from Freightliner, and as soon as they receive them, Craig and I and probably Doug Stevenson will be making a trip to Missouri to do a pre-build meeting, and other than that, I'm going to get a hold of Henderson again and get some dates and some figures on paper of when this stuff's gonna be hashed out. It's kind of been a nightmare.
Try to have their end of
We-
it ready, to be ready to go when you get
Yes.
the chassis, right?
Yeah.
That increase you was talking about, we didn't have a concrete price set on that unit.
We did. Unfortunately, I argued and argued, if we want these trucks, we're gonna have to eat this increase. Because trucks are hard to come by right
Well,
now.
I'm sure of that, and they know it.
There
But they
are
still shouldn't have
trucks
the right to-
available.
Still shouldn't have the right to increase price.
I totally agree with you, Don. I mean, I don't know what else I can do. I've
So-
argued on the phone, and I don't really wanna make a 4-hour trip to this side of St. Louis
So
to,
it's a take it or leave it, basically.
basically.
Yeah. And you already pulled the bids back from one of them. This is the second round. Is that not correct?
Well,
Because
it
we couldn't get
depends.
the
So-
trucks?
So, this all started way back with Custom out of Kansas City.
Yes,
We received one of those trucks.
yes.
This truck that I'm working on now, that was supposed to be 2024's truck, is the second one originally
Second
from
one from
Henderson,
Custom.
or from
Custom.
Custom, sorry.
Yep.
So, this truck was originally supposed to be finished the fourth quarter of 2024.
Yep.
Did not happen. They don't even have cabs and chassis yet, or they don't have chassis on the ground. So, like Steve said, it is a take it or leave it.
What motor was in that? Was that the Detroit?
Yes,
For right now, they're in the driver's seat.
But it all
and it's not.
It's emissions, I'm sure.
I don't want to say it's a Henderson problem. I think it's something that got thrown at them too from their Freightliner rep.
Uh-huh.
And I argued about, the prices that we were given. Unfortunately, those are just on basically a sales quote that I signed, and those have expiration dates, and they expired earlier this month.
Would you say that increase was 4,000?
$4,164, but only half of that will be towards this truck that we encumbered from
Less
this
than
year.
2%, so it's not a significant increase, it's just a principal,
Yeah,
just
that's
a principal
right.
buying.
That's right.
Yeah, and I just, like I said, I wasn't on the agenda for this morning, but I had Kenny put me on there just so I could give you guys a heads up and, let you know, well, hopefully to let me proceed.
I'd
And then I'll get with Angie on what I need to do to get
Okay.
that price changed.
Okay.
But that's where we're at on that, unfortunately. That's the way the truck market is right now.
Based on those type of trucks, yeah.
Yeah. But the good side is we will get trucks that are built by Henderson, which is who we have build all of our trucks usually anyway. All of our,
Long time truck outfitter, I mean, like forever.
yeah. All right, well, you guys got anything for me?
You have a good Christmas?
Yes, I took last week off and got some stuff done and had a few Christmases, and
At least it was good weather.
it was, yeah, yep, real good.
Still gonna be good weather ahead, but it's gonna cool off.
Sounds like the white stuff possibly this weekend.
Yep.
We're gearing up for that. I hope it's for nothing, but we're ready.
Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
New Year.
You too.
Well, that ends our agenda.
See you guys.
See you. Take care. Well, if we wanna hit round table, we got some payroll checks and some voucher stuff left to do. Carry over. Guess we can start with Mr. Bowie.
All the checks and vouchers today?
Yeah,
We got all checks and vouchers today.
yeah.
was able to reach out to Representative-elect Brad Barrett. If you recall, I'd like to get a copy of his letter in Word format so that I can add the county and all the cities in the county. He sent me copies of the letter in Word format, and he also indicated that his letter had also gone to not only Senator Moran, or addressed to Senator Moran, but also Senator Marshall, and then Congressman-elect Derek Schmidt. So I took liberty to take the document and add the county and all the cities. So here's, I only printed off the blank with Senator Moran, Senator Marshall. I didn't do it for Schmidt, so here's one for each of you. You just then it's a, you guys already,
Is this the same thing?
the same
Oh,
thing,
no, I'm
just
sorry. No,
addressed to,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I have one that has Brad Barrett's signature on it, each addressed to Senator Marshall, Senator Moran, and Congressman-elect Derek Schmidt.
So, what is it we've got here? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
These are the CHIP support letters. Sorry, I should have said that to begin with.
We passed a second group of them.
So what you have, one's addressed to Senator Moran, one's addressed to
Okay,
Senator
I'm
Marshall.
sorry, I'm sorry.
So
I see now.
I confuse it because they look like the exact same thing, which they
Yeah,
are, just addressed to somebody different.
Okay, okay.
They didn't get ahold of Steve Cox at Leroy.
Oh, nope, I need to add that one. Good catch. I thought I was missing one, so I have these ready to sign, other than I need to add Steve Cox, and then,
And Lou Strong.
They're strong.
Lou Strong's on.
Oh,
oh, yep. So, I need to add New Strawn and
Okay,
Leroy, and then we're good to go.
okay.
I was going through spending my time making sure I got everybody's name right, and I forgot.
Okay.
So,
Yes, you
I thought it looked like,
And we just need to run the mayor down and get them to sign both sheets.
if they will, I'm not sure if they will, I'm not sure they'll, well, I'm not sure what they'll do. I know Osage County got it done, so I
I'm
anticipate.
pretty sure we can get it done here.
I don't,
So it'll just be these two letters,
3 letters.
or, I'm sorry, 3 letters.
Having the mayor of each of the cities within the
So
county sign.
will we pass it, I mean, we will each take a letter, will we, or
You're gonna take one letter.
one letter and.
Everybody's gonna take, well, you're gonna take 2 or 3, I guess 3, because you need them to go to 3 different people, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Senator
so
Moran,
we're gonna take
Marshall,
a set of 3 letters. Somebody's gonna start it, get the signatures that they need at their city, and hand it off to the next commissioner, and let him get the signatures at his city, and hand it off to the next commissioner. Is that what we're doing? I mean, that's,
Yes.
I'm just trying to make it simple.
So, and that's making it simple, and I guess ideally, the way to make it the most simple, so we don't end up in a situation where someone tries to make a coma issue, is, trying to think of the best way to,
How would it ever be a coma issue?
well, if you're handing things off, one to the other, indirectly, I'm not sure someone could try to make a. So it's that serial communication telephone game, where you carry it, and then you pass a message to Tom, and then Tom passes a message to Wade, and then eventually end up having communication that may end up being considered serial communication. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. If one person could be designated to deal with that and go to the communities to see if they sign off, that would be the best, in my opinion.
Well, sure it would be.
Yeah,
I understand the intent is not to violate
that is a thought.
but serial communication, if you can hit reply all on an email and it's a serial communication, then and maybe I'm being too much of a pessimist when it comes to that, but I know from having investigated coma complaints that can be an issue. So,
Do we need to visit with these mayors individually?
well, the mayor's.
And ask them to come in and sign it in your office?
I'm okay if you want. I can go out and go to each of the cities. It may be that, I don't know, well, I can reach out to them first and see if they can get a hold of their mayors. And here in Burlington, it's a lot easier because Stan Luke's local, but it's not like it's that far for anybody else. New Sharon's not that difficult either. So whatever your direction is, that's what I'll do. If you each if you have another idea, I'm not trying to make it more difficult than what it needs to be, but I also don't want there to be an issue.
Can we, as a suggestion, I guess, each one of us call, or I guess Stan, we could call and say, January, whatever, commission meeting, please come in and sign it, and they can all
Have a great day.
be here at once, or?
You think we need to do it sooner than that? What's your thoughts?
I mean,
The
the
problem
sooner
is,
the better.
being able to get a hold of everybody at the I mean,
I'd be able to make it on the same day.
I don't know.
that's a good idea, Tom. I mean, if that,
I mean, that way they'd be right here, everybody, we could,
I'll be glad to get a hold of Jake and see, I mean,
everybody would all stand.
yeah.
And that's a thought. Whatever you think needs to be done.
I mean, next Monday's meeting, you don't take every bit of that long, by the time you call everybody, and they come in, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I
Sounds like
think
a
if
long
you
way
can get-
around the block.
If you can get everybody here next week to sign off, that's probably as quick as it could happen if you went out and
Okay.
got it done by hand.
We could take these letters and let them read it over, could we not? And then,
If you can get me emails for all the mayors, I can send out a copy to what I have here to everybody, so they have advance notice of what's being requested. I think, Mayor Ferguson, he was already here, so he knows what's happening.
Well, I can get for Gridley and New Strong if that's what you want.
yeah, I can get Waverly.
Yep,
I'm assuming you got Stan.
yep. So I'll make those two additions you already approved last week to have the chairman here sign, so we can have the chairman's signature on the ones I send out, so it shows it's already been signed off on here. And then that way, if they have any questions, I guess they can.
So why don't we, if we're gonna do that, why don't we set a time so when we contact them about the emails, we can, what time do we think? If we're gonna have them come in on
Next
Monday?
week?
Yeah.
9 o'clock?
10,
Or 10.
9, 10, well, yeah,
I just put them first on the program.
that'll work,
Yeah.
9:05.
Let me make sure you don't have something already scheduled real quick.
And for those that won't be able to make it, we could always catch them up then.
Yeah.
River City's at 9:05. Do you want to Well, I mean, if you just told them 9:05, they could go right after River City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he don't take very long.
Yes.
Leroy there, I think he works there for somebody.
I know Jake works out of that, I mean, his construction part. I'll visit with him,
Okay.
and if we can get the letters out, get you the email for him.
I'll get as soon as I get the email addresses, I'll send the email to everybody.
Okay. I'll probably just get those and text those to you if that's okay.
That's fine. I can probably call it each too. City halls.
I'll try to give them a heads up so they can plan, have time to plan have a week to plan.
I'll call Stan later today, leave him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
I don't know what Eric works out at the plant, so
Yeah.
I sent him a text message.
Okay. And if need be, I can be flexible to meet and have people sign after hours, early morning, in the middle of the night, whatever it is. It's important enough that it needs to be done.
Yeah, I'm sure help you with that if you need any help with that.
Okay.
Wait.
That's that. A couple weeks ago, sort of initially had an initial executive session to discuss the county councilor contract that was put on hold. Bringing it back up. I'd request 20-minute, 20 or 15, either one,
20.
executive session to discuss non-elected personnel, specifically county councilor contract negotiations.
Okay, Borden, yourself?
Correct. These guys needed something first.
No. So I'm looking for an executive session too, so we'll talk about that after.
Okay. Motion to enter into executive session for 20 minutes, including each of the commissioners, county councilor Wade Booth II, to discuss personnel matters, non-elected personnel regarding contract review, to discuss county councilor contract negotiations under KSA 75-4319B1. I'll move.
Second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Hugan and that guy. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We'll enter at 9:33 for 20 minutes.
Switch it, 'cause I knew it was ahead of everybody a little bit.
Yeah. Hugan had to stop off at the boys' room. Yep. Enough out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Is it supposed to start soon?
I think this weekend there's a real good chance.
It's quite a bit colder too.
Sounds like.
Low sound digits,
Oh, nice.
lower digits.
I started this
We're due, aren't we? we can forward it.
Yeah.
You've had an easy month, it's
I
okay.
ain't missing it.
I'm not
It
either,
don't need,
not either way.
the snow, I don't care about it, it snows 6 foot. We don't need the freezing rain and ice, that's when we have problems, so. And it doesn't matter, folks, and I don't mean this bad for, Facebook land. The first snow or the first ice, we'll have 40 wrecks.
Mhm.
And after that, people realize, oh, it's that time of year, we need to be careful.
Let's
You know,
wake up,
seriously.
yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's the way it happens.
Yeah.
We'll work 40 wrecks, the first snow or ice, and after that, people realize that we just need to be more careful, it's that time of year, so. But yeah, we don't need to start talking about that this early.
It's kind of late, isn't it?
No, let's not talk about it.
Questions?
All right. We're all bringing back and present accounted for. In regards to the last executive session, open for discussion of county councilor's contract. I make a motion to increase his contract pay to $77,500 for the next 4 years. I guess that is a 4-year deal, is it not? Yes.
And he'd still be eligible for COLA.
Still be eligible
Yeah,
for
that'd be
COLA.
the basis for those.
Yeah, yeah, I'd second that.
Just put it out there, he basically had janitorial maintenance as well as multitude of other things, so.
So, I just wanna I've not asked for I'm the worst advocate probably for myself because I would have been okay if he didn't do anything. The janitorial and maintenance, I don't want, when I agreed to do that, I didn't do it because I wanted anything for it.
And I wasn't meaning that, I'm just
I don't-
saying there's a multitude of other things you do as our counselor, helping with that Marie Bells and, contracts that come in,
Law enforcement center, going over all the pay
Yeah.
apps and everything else.
I'll just say it this way, and I've said it before, when things need to be done, and this is, maybe coming from how I was raised by my father, who was a 27-year veteran of the Army Ranger. Nothing that I do here even remotely compares to that, but he always taught me leaders lead, and that's just how I look at it. So when somebody asks me to do something, my position is, they're asking for a reason, then I'm not gonna turn it down. Leaders lead, and that's just how I look at it.
Knight moved, McCurry seconded the motion on the floor. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you for what you do for the county, Wayne.
Very much.
We've got a great bunch of department heads here as well as employees under them. They all do a fantastic job for our county, and Wade is in that category too. His leadership in the department head is fantastic, so. And I think this gets the starting pay where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's way behind based on, other examples, so. And Wade didn't ask for anything, so.
Okay. Moving on. Sheriff, do you have something you need?
I do.
Okay, we can take care of it before we go into any other roundtable discussion, we'll put you up front.
I'd like a 20-minute executive session with the board and Wade, dealing with the contracts for the jail.
Okay. Motion to enter into 20-minute executive session, the sheriff, Eric, and the board, and, county attorney, or?
Yes.
So contracts for the jail, would it be for,
Medical services for the jail.
okay.
What was that, Tom, again?
Medical services for the jail. Medical service contract.
Okay.
So I will reread the motion. Motion to enter into executive session 20 minutes, including the commissioners, Sheriff Tom Johnson, Under Sheriff Eric Smith, and county attorney, county councilor, okay. County councilor Wade Booth, second, to discuss matters deemed privileged in attorney-client relationship, to discuss jail contracts for medical services under KSA 754319-B2.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Hughes, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion?
Tom, when we were, and I'm not making an issue out of this, but when we were following, or going around selling the jail project, I think, if I remember right, medical services was talked about. Can you can't retain, can you contract that to yourselves, or that all need to come through the county commission? Because there is a firm, isn't there a firm that does that medical service for the jail?
There are many
Many?
companies that
Okay,
do
there's many of them.
contract for services.
I know we talked about the medical services, it was
Yes, sir.
part of the project when we were selling the jail.
Okay.
Okay.
So, we all voted, right?
You didn't vote yet.
Oh,
Well, not all in favor, did
okay. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll enter at 10:06 for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, not just me, but I mean, the commissioners have. So.
Oh, yeah.
We were back in, though.
I'm sorry?
We were back in.
We're in. No, I think we've had enough for one day. Well, we'll probably be back for something, I would imagine. Not with the sheriff anyway. Maybe,
Hopefully.
hopefully. All right. We're back from the last executive session, no action taken at this moment. We're still in roundtable,
Yeah, go ahead.
waiting on Wade. Guess I can go around. Steve, you got any roundtable?
No, sir, I don't.
Don?
I don't have any, I'm guessing.
Mr. Thompson? Nope. Egan?
No? Can't think of something.
Have a good evening.
That's okay. I handed out your appointed boards. It's all updated now. And then I'm assuming you want me to go ahead and advertise for tourism and visitors. Because we have two vacant, Mark's leaving, and I don't know if Troy Friend's renewing. So the only one that's on there is Bobby. So I will get ads going for that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I handed out the potential year-end transfers that I've been working on. So the current balances are at the top of what is in each of those funds. And then out of the current operating budget are the amounts that I've come up with that we would potentially have minus cash carryover. So, and not violating budget law, so if you guys like what you see here, I'm still gonna review it, the rest of today and tomorrow morning before you come in to sign, just to make sure everything looks good. I'll get the resolutions prepared, but if you want to move any money, funds around or change something, if you could let me know here today. If we look at capital improvement reserve, that $1 million coming from capital outlay, if you recall, we have to put in about $1 million every year to cover the radio tower systems. So that's why I thought we probably ought to go ahead and put that $1 million in. And then I went ahead and just threw some others in there to cover what's on the 5 to 7 year plan. And then community improvement, it was down some from things that you guys have used some money for, so I thought you might want to increase it back up. And then equipment reserve, what we've done there, idea from the auditor was that some counties, okay, let me back up. So all of these reserve funds, you guys have total control over. You say yay or nay on what it's spent on. So some departments want to have a certain amount held over for them. And so I explained to them that we can do that, but there's no guarantee that you guys are going to say, yes, you can have it for this or for that, whatever it is. So anyway, so in talking to the auditor, I created department numbers that correlate back to the general fund to those departments. So when you look at equipment reserve in a breakdown, you will see, for instance, and I'm going to use one department, the first one, their appraiser, that they're putting $33,000 into equipment reserve.
Well, and they're using that and $13,828 for the
GIS.
GIS.
Right.
Which is $700,000 in that reserve,
Right.
which I feel is crazy.
So when a department comes to you in the future, if you want to see the breakdown on how much is in each line, you'll see, like for instance, jail down there, 3/4 of the way down, they have $110,000 they're putting in. And so when they come to request money for something, you'll see how much they have. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I just use you as an example.
No, that's fine, I'm more than happy to explain any of that.
So, but they have things that they're wanting to, not just them, but I mean, every department
Right.
that's told me that they want money in equipment reserve, they have things that they're wanting to purchase, but they can't do a purchase order because they don't have a vendor, and
Right.
that sort of thing. So,
For example, for us, and can't speak for anybody else, but like I said, because of the grants that we wrote, this year, we had $100,000 left over in the jail. And I'm thinking, listen, I don't know what I'm gonna need in 6 months at the last minute. So if I can put that over in equipment reserve so I can use that, that's the reason that I did that, is to try to use that, because for that unforeseen piece of equipment I need over here at the last minute, that I'll have.
Makes sense. Got community improvement reserve, putting $1.7 million in it. Is that pretty well putting back in what we used out of it this year?
I think over the last couple years, and
That's getting the total up to
Community
almost.
improvement at the beginning of January 24 was $8 million. And we're at, it was at $8,011,000. And it is at 646, sorry.
that's capital.
Sorry, community improvement, sorry, my bad. 2.9 at the beginning of this year, and it's at $3 million right now.
So over the past couple of years, you guys have spent quite a bit out of there, but if you wanted to, just as a thought, with, and I'm not saying you're gonna spend more money on this jail or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to split that community improvement amount, we could put some in equipment reserve, maybe for unforeseen equipment that you might need to cover that, because it is less. If you split it, then community improvement and equipment reserve would be about the same.
I'd split it.
Yeah.
I'd split it, put it in equipment reserve and.
To me, I think we need to split it.
Okay, so I'll cut
That's
that in
fine.
half.
That still leaves, $4 million into the community improvement reserve. And this last year, it's never been over three slightly, and that's it.
So we could put half in community improvement reserve and half in equipment reserve, and then that way those two are both built up
Yeah.
if you need something, and
But
then.
we got the other $1 million payment for the tires too. Don't we?
Is that the one in capital outlay?
Is that capital outlay? Okay, yeah, that'd be capital outlay.
Yeah, that's gonna
That's
stay.
$1.3 million.
Okay.
So I'll just divide that 1.7 over the
Split
two.
it.
So if everything looks satisfactory to you, I'll make sure my numbers are pretty solid today, and then get everything ready so that it's ready for you tomorrow to.
Great.
What did you do with that wellness money?
It was in
14,000?
general,
Well, I mean, there was like 800,000 in there.
it was put back into the, general, was it not?
Oh, yeah, we put that, but that's something we need to figure out, because if we don't, they won't have it for next year.
They've got some in the, it was under mental health, wasn't it?
Right, but we moved it all to general, mental
It's
wellness.
down to 2,500 is what's in it now.
Should I move some money from general to that as a reserve, and then how much do you want me to put in there?
I would take it,
Let me see what's in it.
I mean, we could capital improvement. Capital improvement 764.
I guess I don't remember us moving that money, I just remember the 800,000 being there.
Did it, and we subtracted it so we could
That's
keep
right.
the mill levy
Yeah.
lower.
That's right.
Yeah.
We don't use a whole lot of it, it's just, I mean, maybe it don't need it, maybe it does.
Well, I
Wade,
know.
what do you think, Wade, for your, mental wellness? What do you foresee? Cause you're on the board,
Right.
Sheriff, you're on the board.
And
What do you foresee expenditures for 2025 for mental wellness?
It probably depends now that it's up and running. There's new requests. I think there's 2 requests that were recently approved to send different individuals to specific training. I think one of them was up to 5,000. The other one was maybe
all
up
the,
to.
all the school boards, all the schools have got teachers or counselors that want to go to this training that we've talked to them about for several years sending. So that's been approved.
So you, $20,000?
And then
Yeah, at least, yeah, that.
Then another approval was made to purchase, what is the injectable,
Oh, you're talking about Narcan?
Narcan.
Yeah.
So Narcan, and I think that was up to $10,000, wasn't it? So I think there's gonna be more requests through that board now that it's up and operational. I think if you have at least 100 in it,
That's
would
what I
be
was
my
gonna suggest,
recommendation.
just take 100,000, put in there.
And
That
put it
way
in,
you've got plenty.
and put it in mental wellness,
Yeah.
Tom.
Or can we move that?
Can I add something
Sure.
to what they're saying? Well, I know in speaking with Amelia that I think she was looking to keep what they have, which they have 230,000 right now
In,
in the mental wellness.
in-
It's in the general fund right now.
oh, okay. So we don't get to see
Oh.
the mental wellness general fund?
Well, you can, yes, but nothing's been spent out of it this year, but that's what we transferred over to general, but I probably need to move
For
it.
mental wellness.
Yeah, I need to
Okay,
move it out
well
to this, if you're okay with keeping
Then
the
it's-
230.
Then we're good,
That's
right?
good.
Yeah.
So I can move it out to that.
To that mental wellness, mental health account, right?
And you're okay with keeping it at the 230 for 200,000?
If that's, I mean, if that's what's in it.
Yeah, there's 230,000.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that way there's a good fund. I mean, there's not 800,000 sitting there, and I still think 200,000 is ridiculous.
So you're gonna move the whole 230 out?
Probably two,
Well, if you, yes, just two.
just to leave just to leave that account.
The one thing to think about is that if they end up, not needing it or not using it all, you do not have to budget next year.
Next year, right.
So, since you already have it,
That's what I've
Yep.
seen the shaking of the heads of two of the board members that,
okay,
Yeah.
I'll put 200,000 into mental wellness.
My impression is from the members of the board and the activity that's likely to occur, you'll see some more requests for expenditures. They'll have to come through this board for final approval, but the whole goal is to get that board up and running so that decisions can be made for the betterment of the mental health and well-being of the community and the county. And I think that's gonna take some spending of that money. Now, the additional recommendation is there's the municipalities fight addiction fund that I think has, 30,000 or something like that in it. And if you recall, the recommendation I made was that the mental health board had the ability to make decisions or recommendations for this board for the expenditure of that money. There's all these different criteria that have to be met to spend that money. And then I have to file an annual report with the Attorney General's office to make sure that those funds are being spent in the required method that they can be spent. So this board will help be that conduit, in my opinion.
Sounds way on.
clear as mud. Anything else on that?
Oh, I guess everything else looks good. I mean, if I see something I need to change between now and tomorrow, but otherwise, if you're happy with
Looks feasible.
that's what we'll do.
I just don't know what the GIS reserve,
Geographical information
I
system.
know. but
Do you want to get Connie?
Which one you talking about, Jeff?
GIS reserve, I guess it's a reserve, it's a reserve fund, we can have access to it at any time if needed, so.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid we're gonna have a shortfall coming up in the next,
I agree.
I really think you guys ought to look at some projected numbers of the tax collections of the treasurer and, from the appraiser's office. I really, at least some projections for first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, see what you guys are gonna get, so. It might keep you from
getting into
be in a bad
flood.
spot if you can head it off as early as possible.
Got
But what do
district,
I know?
got district court at 40,000.
Mhm.
Is that something we've done annually, or is that, what is that for?
District court,
I realize
They-
it's for district court.
they have extra funds that they are wanting to utilize once the courtroom gets done and different
Okay.
equipment that they're gonna need and software and stuff like that, so they wanted to be able to have access to that if
Okay.
you guys would allow.
I don't recall putting anything in there, but
I don't think,
I know there's gonna be some changes, so.
yeah, I don't think typically they ask us to transfer anything to reserve
But
funds,
that's based on the renovation that's going to
Right,
be done,
right.
correct? Yeah.
because they're gonna need some other
Right.
things, so.
Well, most of that ought to be figured into the $3 million
Yeah,
remodel.
it's in the contract.
So there is an FF&E budget for the furniture, fixtures and equipment. The only unknown right now is nobody knows what those costs are gonna be even for the remodel because the renderings are not done and presented for approval to this board. And if you recall, for the jail, once that occurred, it was, what did they call it, the 70%? And when the 70% came in,
50%, you'll get 50% drawings, then 75, you know.
At 70%, then they sent it out for tentative bids, just to get a projection, and those projections were what, at 35 or 36 million, and then that's when you start having to cut back. So my impression is, because the district court asked me about this, for example, in the new, what will be the remodel, small courtroom, the magistrate courtroom, if you've been down there, hopefully nobody's been to court for anything.
Not yet.
This room is probably the same size as the magistrate courtroom. It's going to be expanded so that it could carry a misdemeanor jury trial if needed, which is a 6-person trial. And it will be expanded right now so you can run both courtrooms at the same time, which right now that occurs. It's just not as efficient as it could be.
And it's a security nightmare, but anyway.
And security is a huge reason why all of this is happening. So my impression is they're gonna need some additional technology as well as maybe some furniture that may not be included in that FF&E, but if it's included, I told them, my impression would be everything should be included. I think this is just their fail-safe in case it's not included, and they have the ability to come to this board and ask for, some of the technology that they'll need in the courtroom. Equipment-wise may have to be tied into this $40,000, but it may all be covered by the FF&E, and if it is, then the $40,000 will just fall back into the,
Come back in.
right, it's just.
Okay. All good? Till tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll be back at 11 o'clock. Yay.
Checks and documents today.
Checks and vouchers today. Wade, do you have any more round table stuff, executive sessions?
So, hand these around, these are the updated letters to Senator Moran, Marshall, and Schmidt that have all of the mayors included, including Rhonda Taylor, mayor of the city of New Strong, and then Steve Cox, mayor of the city of Newbrook. And those are
This
they're
is
just
just one copy.
one copy.
Okay.
Same thing that you had
Okay.
before, just
I see.
has
I see.
all the
Yep.
cities included.
Yep.
My fault.
Lebo Mayor said he's gonna check with the city to see if need a motion for him to sign them papers. Have you done any research on that, if they have to have a motion?
Depends on where you are and what their criteria is that
Okay.
some will just sign.
I told him 9:05 next Monday, if he needed me to bring them to him, I could.
So at a minimum, it's been approved for you to sign, so I'd at least request for you to sign. And if you need a blue pen, I always prefer blue.
I got blue.
Alright. Go past. He's around.
We made that motion last week.
Correct.
That's correct.
Sign below, correct?
Above,
Above.
next to where Brad Barrett signed. Then once I have all the email addresses, I'll scan all of those and send them so they know what the request is.
Okay.
Hard to read your signature, Jess.
Yeah. Been told it's a doctor's signature, it's not the pay.
So the letters are not asking for anything but support, so that may be the distinguishing characteristics of having to take it before their board, but each board may look at it, or council may look at it differently.
I said I'd call Luke, I'd give him a heads up that something's coming.
And if you've watched what's going on, I get updated on a daily basis on the CHIPS PMT awards, and they're rolling out like hotcakes. I got the notification of some even this morning, so they're trying to allocate all those funds before January 20th. Go to the NIST website, check it out and see where the PMTs are.
Can you send me that website, that web address?
Yep. CLN.
Say, Sheriff.
Yep. Daily there's an update, it seems like.
Go stab me. Please do it now. You got a puzzled look on your face.
Yeah. Trying to decide whether I do it this week or wait until next week. I'm thinking a 10-minute executive session, attorney-client, to discuss preliminary draft of a lease agreement. Regarding Maribel's.
Including the leaky roof.
That's a whole different.
Motion to enter executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, County Councilor Wade Booth, second, to discuss matters deemed privileged in attorney-client relationship, to discuss preliminary draft of lease agreement regarding Murray Bells under KSA 75-4319B2. I'll move. I'll second. Moved by Knight, seconded by McCurry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We'll enter at, I'm gonna give a little extra time. 10:58. 10:58 for 10 minutes. Still go up not as good as I do.
You probably don't know, but I'm gonna ask questions. Any idea when we're gonna hire?
Well, he doesn't want any help.
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. There.
Andy, like on the hospital board, this number behind it, that's representative of.
Did you?
Yeah, I think Danny Redding could be in District 5.
Oh, yes, you would, you're right. I think that's the old one.
Okay.
Smile. Be happy. It's an adventure every day.
Every day is an adventure, Tony, you're right.
Wait, I just texted you Eric Ferguson's email address.
I'll give an update from last executive session.
Okay, fire away.
Have a bare bones agreement related to the Maryville's property. Specific terms and conditions are still, being ironed out. There is nothing has been presented to the proposed tenant at this point because I want to make sure the proposed terms and conditions were contained within the agreement. Once that occurs, then I'll revisit with the board to make sure my understanding of what the terms and conditions are is accurate, and then from there we'll move forward. But I'm not the decision maker, I'm just the guy who's putting together the proposed agreement to make sure I understand what's being requested, and then we'll go from there. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of that, I don't think I have anything else unless you have something for me.
Okay. Andy, do you have any more roundtable stuff?
I do not.
Not, we'll get started signing checks and vouchers, and then we will recess until 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Sonny, this is the exciting part, maybe you ought to stay for that.
Yeah, I bet you it is exciting watching you guys sign checks. Sign all the money away.
We were trying not to, but some people want their money.
I understand. I've been in city government and it's a tough job, but somebody got to do it.
That's right.
Happy trails, man.
You
Happy
too.
New Year, Tony.
Here's that book. Tax abatement. Take care.
Hey, Todd, we're gonna be bored, you gotta be bored too.
I put my duty on.
That's your new book for next year?
Yep. It is.
I got mine, but it won't fill in there as much as what I have been filled needs.
Oh, man, you really fill in a bunch in a short time.
I just carry this little pocket one, so it's with me all the time, but there's not hardly enough room in it a lot of times for a lot of days. I mean, I'd like to do that. It won't ever be where I'm at, that's my problem. Hanging on a chain around my neck.
You look like a real OG. Get a big old gold chain, clip that book on there, yeah.
Oh gee. Where's Snoop Dogg come out of the woodwork? He's involved in everything out here.
Old Snoop.
He is.
Oh, Snoop dude.
He's the dream.
Where the hell did this stuff come from? Dude, take it back repair. I don't know how that got out of the book, but it did.
No, that was an extra check.
Oh, that was extra? Okay.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. Got 2 boxes of them.
Wake up, Wade.
I've got a little jet lag or something, I don't know. Holiday travels, not all they're cracked up to be.
Once I wrote that.
IRS, I suppose we gotta pay them.
Yeah, heavens forbid you pay them too much and you want some money back. It's like pulling dadgum teeth.
Oh. Steve, I'll just send you this folder down and this all goes in that. How about that?
Thanks. There's that dirty bird.
Are you know? A lot of them have it. Yeah, they're not in the right. I don't know.
From the blue book. Oh,
okay.
To the right of.
Right.
That's everything to the right of Wade, not counting the blue book. Fine.
The blue book goes in it?
Nope, blue book is still out of that box.
Okay.
Okay. Everything with the blue book,
But,
but the blue book.
okay.
All this stuff here goes in the white.
And this is separate.
That's all separate.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, everything that's so far goes in that green. Yeah.
That's the end of that.
Okay. That one too there, Wade, that goes with that sheet. Blue book on feet out of that box.
Okay, okay, so it's part of this first group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything before that one goes in agreement. This here doesn't go where it does.
Yeah, it doesn't go in, but this stuff.
So that's the green one, this it's for this one.
And that
The girls district.
And all of that stuff goes in that box, I believe.
You're right.
I think all of that goes in that box, right?
All that out of the box. Everything that Tom's got right here goes in the box.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
blue,
starting now,
okay, goes in the box.
goes in the box.
I'd suggest I cancel that. That's what I should have that for.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let me go? 18. Thank you. I gave the bags, the key, the 2 bags, the keys of North Property to Angie this morning too. What's left?
Okay.
They put card locks on everything up there, so you can't even get into inspect the property. I don't know how that rolls in the contract, but
I think as long as you give them notice and have the opportunity to enter in.
we did there 2 weeks ago. They had a business supper type deal, and I went in, visited, met some other people. It's nice in there. I haven't torn it up, that's for darn sure. A lot better than it was.
Oh, that's good.
So what I handed out, you had requested info on NIST, where to go, so I just went on their website and printed off. I think those are
news releases?
Those news releases come out on a regular basis, and since there's no real action that will be taken based on any of what I'm about to show you, I'm just gonna show you so you can see and
You know what time?
I don't know why they put the colored paper in there. Most invoices there are saying it's a little bit of sign.
I think it's just for her record keeping,
When they're putting it
because
together.
you'll notice, like, one of them is all, phones and boots. The next one's utilities and whatnot. And then on down to
Where they can look for stuff.
purchases, yeah. From what I noticed.
Yeah.
Ready for school,
So this is the website right there.
so
You would? You would?
Oh, you guys did that last.
Yeah. Especially when they stop talking about me and they kind of got this in there, so. Clothing, 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 all about my clothing. Yep.
It looks like we got minutes signed in to all that, so I think it's probably.
Do
I'll look back,
Yeah.
we got the minutes that ties that, and I think it's all tied together.
yeah.
A little bit of different language and.
Right.
McDaniel Wade.
Who's done, Tom?
Yes,
Pardon me?
yes, sir.
What is a pepper ball? 2,700. Wade, what's a pepper ball?
what?
A pepper ball.
That gives me a little more information than.
Sheriff's Office, pepper ball.
Not sure.
Says safety equipment. What the hell, let's just get on bed.
There we go. So, this is the site, the thing I printed off, this is from that site. As you see, it's nis.gov, CHIPS news and news releases. So why I wanted to show you this is, you go to funding updates. So here's funding updates related to the CHIPS and Science Act. You can go down, CHIPS for America awards, it'll have awards, you can click on it, go through and see all the CHIPS for America awards. It will give all the different locations, proposed funding, you can click there, it'll do the same thing there. So what's interesting about this map, and this includes both proposed funding and awards. What part of the country has a wide open space with nothing?
Nothing. Oh, let's guess, big old Kansas.
Well,
Midwest.
Well, early on, that's what they were liking about.
That's
You know,
what-
there's more than one company gonna be involved in it. It was out in Central America. There were three things that they said would be a plus for our location. I can't remember what that third one is.
In the middle of the United States.
Well, it's the rural characteristic of the location is one of them. I mean, if you remember, one of the places that was mentioned, in addition to the site in Coffee County, was the site in Wichita as well, with Intel. Integra. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up so you could see of all the awards you see, and a number of them in California, you know, with you can click on them, go in and see.
We're all for their company.
Intel, Michigan, Arizona, Amcor, TSMC, Intel, and remember the red are awards.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Instrument, Utah, Octave, XX, Integris in Colorado. Remember,
Most of it northeast.
this one was during election time, Polar Semiconductor in Minnesota. There is quite a bit of activity in the state of New York.
Shocker.
So,
You know, there at one time, I spent a month ago or 6 weeks ago, it was mentioned that our application was near the top. I don't know what that meant, but right now it doesn't look like it meant anything for what's all been awarded, but
I don't know if that's necessarily the way to look at it. I think the point is, until there's a hard no, it's still under consideration. I think is the best way to look at that. And, you know, by Coffee County and surrounding counties taking proactive steps to get the attention of those who are sitting in seats in Washington, D.C. to say, hey, Kansas is not just a flyover state. It actually is, there's people here, and Kansas should be considered just as much as any other state in the country. That's the point, but my point in bringing it up is, right now,
Wichita's not in the radar either.
right now, from what's been issued, Kansas, at least on paper, looks like a flyover state. And
So Nebraska and Iowa the same way. You know, there's the agriculture states that we're associated with, you know, don't have any awards.
And what you don't know is that if or who has submitted an application that's still under consideration. For Kansas and for the Coffee County EMT application in particular, we do know that that application has been submitted and there hasn't been it's not been approved or declined, so that's something noteworthy, where in Nebraska, we don't know who's applied.
Yeah.
In Iowa, we don't know who's applied. So I only mention that, so if you want to go on, you can look and see, and this is the site, anybody can go on, they can take a look and see where PMTs have been issued, where the focus has been, and as far as the funding updates and news releases, for example, going back to the sheet I gave you, this one was recently, these are incentive awards, December 20th, December 20th, December 20th, here's December 19th, and then the magic words that we look for, going back to December 13th, this one, I'm just clicking on it, December 13th.
We don't have anything up on the board. There used to be a website, there was a site once upon a time that showed whose applications were. And EMP was listed in Coffee County.
And that's still available. That's still available.
Before it was basketball down.
I think that mainly shows who has submitted an application. This is,
This is the end of it. No,
That is.
that's it. This is the new one here.
showing the next layer, the next step along the way.
Well, what you could, if you could find that other map, if you could go to the applications that were put in that showed, and then you could see who's received them and kind of do a process of elimination.
Sure.
Am I thinking right?
It's possible, I've not done it that way. So this is the one I was just mentioning from December 13th. This is what the emails or notifications I get from December 13th, and this kind of carries on with all of them are similar. Biden-Harris administration announces preliminary terms with Bosch to advance U.S. supply chain resiliency of crucial semiconductor manufacturing components. And then it goes through and has a blurb about it. Non-binding PMT to provide up to $225 million proposed direct funding under CHIPS and Science Act. Proposed investment would support Bosch's planned investment of $1.9 billion to transform its manufacturing facility in Roseville, California, for production of silicon carbide power semiconductors. And then it goes through and gives a spiel on what that looks like.
Justifying the money.
Yeah, so every single one of the PMPs will be tied to an announcement like this. December 6th, and you can just go on, and it goes pages and pages, so. Excuse me. So those are your news releases that come out on a fairly regular basis. And then if you go into the funding updates, maybe what you're talking about, Jesse, is in this. I'm sure if I poked around long enough, I can find what you're talking about.
Lots of luck.
Almost 70,000.
Yeah.
Guess I'm ready for some more. This is
This is the next group.
new box. I got behind a little bit. Keeping up way too.
I was hoarding them, so how can you sign them when I've got them? Separate was all.
It's like a, I don't know where to find it, but this is where you wanna go to. See what's happening, if you have questions. I get emails almost every morning.
You signed up for email updates?
No, but they'll send it to me.
Who sends it to you? NIST?
A variety of different people. At times I get something from Coel, at times I get it from different people who are watching. But on my own, I get on at least once a week and see what's going on.
I think you guys might ought to put on your radar, putting out bids for your hay grounds.
Yeah, I was
For
hoping that
2025.
we'd see if we'd find something out here and try to
Mhm.
decide what we wanted to do on the east portion of the property was, you know, I guess.
East portion, that southwest corner, right west of Alan Goodell's house, what is that, probably 20 acres there? 30 acres maybe, right there, 20 acres on that probably would not be touched by anything if something was to start next year in the chip, because it's gonna be clear up on.
That wouldn't be.
That wouldn't be
Yeah,
involved.
right, right. Well, and I didn't know if we wanted to, like on the east portion, rent it. You could rent the farm ground and everything. You guys take all the risks. If it comes in and we need the farm ground, your crop gets tore up, your
Mm-hmm,
crop's gone.
right.
That was one thought that I had, but, you know, but it's kinda, you know,
Well, I don't think the farm ground was farmed this last year.
no,
Or
it
this
wasn't.
past year, or just hay ground.
Right, but, you know,
So the
I
farm
don't
ground,
really,
the farm ground wasn't farmed.
it wasn't, but I don't see the point in it sitting there. If somebody wants to, you know,
Take a chance.
obviously it needs to be in there, can't plow up any of the grass. You're gonna, the only thing you'd possibly till would be the farm ground if they wanna sow, you know, something in it and grow something. But I think the whole risk ought to be on the renters.
Yeah.
Like, we tear it up, it's kinda like if you rent the government ground and it floods.
I was gonna
You
say,
don't
it's no
get it,
different
you know?
than,
I was curious, I was gonna ask that question.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be my thought, you know. Just my initial thoughts, okay? want all the input we could get, but I was kind of dragging my feet, hoping we might get some information here. And I'd get to work on that with Mr. Booty and get something drawn up so we can get a bid deal put out here. February or 1st of March or something.
That sounds good. Pretty good size stack.
It is, isn't it, Dawn?
Everybody cleaning up their files.
Apparently so. I got that crowd started, didn't I?
Somebody did. Wouldn't take much for me.
Yeah.
Looks like I'll get that bill here for 38.5, I think that was that. That bill for 38.5, oh yes, didn't take long to get it. No. It didn't take long at all, though. Sorry? It didn't take long at all. No.
Chewing ice cubes, chewing the big ones. Driving my wife nuts. So she bought me for Christmas an ice machine that makes little crushed ice.
Yeah.
Didn't work for her. Still driving her nuts.
Maybe it's not the ice, Tom.
Yeah, I'm taking care of it.
Close that vacuum sealer.
I think
I can chew it all day long, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Money in that.
Like I told her when you're in hospital, they got you on food restrictions or the nurse just won't come in. So you got some ice.
You're trying to keep your mouth damp,
Oh,
aren't you?
yeah.
Wait, when we get our bills on the jail, each company would know what the remaining balance is. On Goldberg, it don't make any difference, but well, they've got a remaining balance here, I just called it. I was wondering about remaining balance.
It's all included in,
It's in there.
yep. they should be pretty close to presenting a design for phase 2.
So right now, that remaining ground tank was 290,000. We talked about it.
Oh, you're fine.
I assume everybody's aware of Joe's passing. I'd very much like an update when you find something out.
Let's get stuck together.
Suppose they
I've seen that other.
wanted to get through the holidays and then they let me know something more formal.
Ironic that got fixing my back. Year older than me.
Yeah.
He's houseworking out on his exercise machine. There's treadmill. Done.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't discriminate.
No.
Healthy people, unhealthy people.
There's an invoice that's going to the juvenile, Douglas County Juvenile.
Detention center.
It's in 30 days, $4,500, so that's $150 a day.
Yep.
Juvenile stuff's expensive, isn't it?
I've never, most of it seem like it's always been 100, 110.
So it all depends on how long a juvenile is in detention. There's some juveniles who have been in detention for extended periods of time. I think the typical yearly budget for juvenile detention is $10,000, but I think last year, the year before, we were at 20 or so for Coffee County. And the issue is, to keep the doors open to send a juvenile to a secure facility like that, you basically have to, you pay a premium. The Franklin County Juvenile Detention Center shut down, I think, because of funding.
Now, a lot of this juvenile, depending on what it's for, we still, get the jail done, we still can hold them, can't we?
There's a federal regulation that you cannot house a juvenile in an adult facility.
It has to be a totally separate facility.
Yeah.
Correct. There'll be another one that's just as much, if not more, next month.
Timing's pretty good. The weather's gonna turn off cold. Needs to be kinda closed in.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be excessively cold either, but
To change from what we had.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
they're not stuck in. That booster was not safe lens. Well, I get the reason what it's for.
Okay.
Autopsy service, $2,500.
Yeah, wait, tell me that, fine.
As many checks as you're signing today, Jess, I think I'd run that stamp.
There's a lot.
Pardon? There's a pile.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Over $1 million worth, just in this stack. 1,047,000. Be a lot less if we didn't have phone stipends and wellness and everything else in here.
Yeah.
Takes a lot more checks, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. How much goes out for phone stipends in our budget every year?
I know it's reduced from what it used to be.
There's some more pepper ball for you there, Don.
What was that? Was that a gun or was that just the pepper balls themselves?
$2,700.
Yeah, there's $2,700 worth there.
Wade, what is this here? It's the sheriff's department. Handling base package, 3 of them, $18,000 apiece. I'm sorry?
I'd have to see it, and I'm.
That's all phone.
Projectiles. But then there's a VKS Pro, and it says it's yellow for $1,381.
That's probably a gun.
Yeah.
That's probably a gun, yeah.
Angie Snyder, Angie signed it, I'm sure it's all right, but it, don't have any idea what it is.
Excuse me.
Have any idea what it is?
Have a list, I'm looking.
You got a list?
Boy, there's a bunch of them in there. Phone bills.
24 cell phone is what we had last, that we were paying stipends on.
Do we know how many dollars?
Have to be quick. I don't know if you remember what some of those were being used on.
gonna ask Angie what this one.
What's this one?
Yeah,
That's a K and R. Or is it K and R? K and R C, that's what, Kansas Natural Resource Coalition would belong to.
Yeah,
K and R C. It's just the dues for that.
yeah, yeah. I think it's, myself, I feel it's pretty important.
Seems like some of these dues getting pretty expensive.
I don't think that's changed in the last,
Yeah,
well,
that one's the same, I
Yeah.
think, since I've been on here anyhow. They, we get something for our money there, I feel like. Yeah, you kinda getting ahead of me. I guess that's not your fault, is it?
No. I promise.
phone stipend would probably be in, road and bridge over there was 18 of them.
That'll take a little out of the stack when you're that thick.
Yeah, that's right.
I was feeling pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that made a big difference, that stuff.
Yeah, that helped a little. Holy moly.
That's all that was, I think.
Hey, wait, what's the code on one of those phone stipends over there?
This one,
75.
that what you want?
Yeah, yeah, that's one of them, yeah. See, this is 10705. Mm. About paid for the whole way, pretty easy.
Is that for the year?
Or-
$6,000.
So you- Mhm.
And so all between, that was probably the highest.
Right.
It was high for all the others.
This here's the same.
Must not have had a county vehicle.
Mark, have a good week.
Yeah, you too.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Ours is, but it's going to credit card. You know, there's about 4 pages of stuff here.
But is that,
And they just they keep adding up, so you know how accurate that is.
right, but that involves several cars, I assume,
And it has to, though.
yeah.
There's a lot of pages. Because there's a lot of small, there's 4 or 5 pages here marked yellow.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I suppose just a combination, and
Yeah.
they add them together,
Yeah.
make one page.
Yeah.
No, it's not urgent.
Enough to do for meeting.
Okay, thank you.
There's a subscription. We get that. You wouldn't think there'd be enough changes in that to where you'd have to buy it every year.
This end doesn't
Yes, sir.
Damn,
There's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm kind of disappointed.
You gonna be disappointed?
Just think about it, you got 2 more years of that fun.
Yes, sir.
Nothing like a full schedule of Monday morning root canals, right?
Yeah. This one's, Branson is the one I heard you mention.
Yeah.
Didn't-
Yeah, apparently there wasn't a county vehicle available.
Yeah.
You got a place shut down?
I got a place in my office. I'm sitting on an old wore out chair.
Yeah.
Here's one way. Well, I guess it's in your office.
Come back.
Sign up.
My office.
$1,500 for
Gone.
psychological
Yeah,
testing.
Whenever they make it rain.
Looks like just a better service, looks like.
I called her, I said, you gotta have that shot? She said, yeah.
Yep. Should be for,
No, that's a war.
tied to a juvenile case.
Move your feet, lose your seat type deal. isn't it?
No,
Psychological testing is not cheap.
Now, that'd be, you know, probably wasn't over 8 hours, might as well have been an hour or two.
Yeah, those professional services are, at a premium.
pretty professional. You would use KDOT work. First time I was a general contractor, KDOT. You know, that certified payroll and this and that.
Made it past.
I should have said surveyor's name. That's because they're professionals. Because they haven't know how to finish concrete, it's probably not.
This
They weren't
is when I'm waiting.
Exactly, they didn't look at it that way, did they?
This one go against apparently, Tom.
Like on the psychological, then they have to offer an opinion or a written, I mean, I assume they have to do a write-up and everything like that. Is that,
Kind of expensive in one way.
So the kind of evaluation you'll see are psychological evaluation in a criminal case. You'll see a competency evaluation, and then you'll see psychosexual evaluation.
And nothing maybe that shouldn't be there, but it's just.
Those 3 items, they're
Good time of year to go.
all that, 3 of them for 18,000 feet. You know what those 3 items were? The sheriff's department. There wasn't enough identification on it.
I have to,
I shouldn't have initialed it until we found out. It was just a one-page, there really wasn't any identification on it. So then, it was sheriff's department. And it's been back. It's even back before that page was on.
it's not, it's stagnant.
It's not that way friendly.
I should have
Yeah, it's
dealt with
just
that.
you said 18?
3 of them for 18, put 4,000 total.
Penetrate wall, yellow spray paint. More spray paint at Blueston, could have been one pair of bumpers.
I think every employee
Lumber?
turned in a bill.
I hope not.
I just think to say that, and I was like, what? We're busy,
I haven't heard it,
And someone was trying to start that, but
but I can't imagine something like that happening.
I can't either, because they are busy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're serving a real purpose, in my opinion. We desperately need.
You said the total?
They do, yeah.
This one's 54,000.
Yeah,
This one deals with 911.
well, there's three of them, 18,000 apiece.
So the call handling base package, three of them at 1,800 or 18,000. So each, there's three, I believe there's three
You know, I don't think I've ever charged.
911 dispatchers potentially live at one time. Usually they alternate between 3 and 2. So they're probably tied to their each of their stations.
If I choose to go to somewhere.
They're probably tied to each of their stations so that they can stay.
What deals, what they provide.
If not, take a sack lunch.
It's tied to support, so it's probably tied to the,
Okay.
I mean, you can get them up here to talk about it, I guess if that's what it ties to.
You know, I should have pulled it out RSA when I searched.
You can call and have Tom or Eric or both of them come up.
Got one here, I'd like to have some exclamation on it.
Okay.
Tom, I don't know whether Tom or Eric, either one of them.
Okay.
If they may have slipped out for lunch.
Oh, I'm sure.
Tessa here, one where Jim Stuckey done some free paint the Lebo. I can't pronounce the word.
Mural.
Mural, yeah. Had repaint the whole thing or just touch it up?
Oh, I don't have no idea.
It's economic development, there's a check in there.
$500.
Mural.
See, he sure does a good job on it.
He does a good job.
Don.
We got two of
He said
them.
it's for an upgrade for 911,
Well, that's what Wade says, so.
and he said he could come on up if you wanted to, but he said that it's for
No,
dispatch.
no. It's fine. It's evidently it's definitely tied to the updating the 911, so.
It's for dispatch, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I see they put some flags up out here at the little corner where the grass is. People just can't make that extra 16-inch step.
We put a flag?
There's some red flags right out here where people step on the corner of the grass to cut across the,
Mhm.
I think for
Last Monday, they had it stomped pretty good.
It's stomped real good out
About
there.
a triangle about the size of this, maybe.
Yeah.
Half of these through this.
I think first ought to put a little fence up or something right there at the edge of the concrete. Just keep it going straight.
A little electric hot wire.
Yeah, exactly. Say there's a,
So we always suggest it hang.
yeah, instead of making square turns,
Yeah.
hang. Make a curve.
I assume you're done with it.
We expect.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go in.
Christian Snyder at the new place. Everybody sits on here. Infrared.
Infrared or thermal?
Got a couple of meters left on the farm. Said as he went up in the trees, he said there's pack rats all over the tree. In the trees? Yeah.
Pack rats, squirrels. We're only bilingual. Yeah, you can see mice, out in the field when you're, anything to do with darkness with those things, it's rabbits, so.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see little sparrows sitting in a tree.
Wade, here's an invoice for underground vaults and storage district court. I'll probably ask you a question. Where's those vaults at?
So I know they have some in Topeka. I think the majority of them are in the salt mines at Hutch.
Hutch.
Yep.
Have you ever been through the salt mines at Hutch, Steve?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Pretty awesome place. That's where this is built from, was Hutch.
I didn't even pay that much attention to that.
They're trying to scan a bunch of records and keep them that way. But there's years and years and years and years of records that are stored for who knows who. There, certain records that I have, I'm sure there's certain records that Angie has all across the county that you have to keep hard copies. You know, if there's a murder conviction, you can't ever get rid of that.
I was gonna say, is that indefinite?
Indefinite. Certain other types of crime, I wait 5 years and I'll have evidence destroyed, because then at that point it's past the time period when the Historical Society has certain threshold time limits for destruction of documents.
Angie, here's a bill from US 243 Lebo, Waverly School District on the wind farm for $255.
Yeah.
It's their portion of the money. It's a portion.
So it's 43%. So we're getting, we're paying the school district here.
Because it's paid into the county, and this is first from the
How
county.
much they paying us? 600,000?
It's almost 600,000, yeah.
Okay. And the Leroy School District it's a smaller amount.
Right.
They give us.
Well, it's right behind it.
71,000, I think, what that.
71.
71,000.
It's next one.
Part of the pilot, right?
Yep.
Yep. Because we keep a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
We
what
keep half.
account. I'm not sure what account that goes into.
Well, we transfer it to the general fund.
I'm sorry.
We'll transfer it to the general fund. Or actually, no. I take it back. You guys did a decommissioning fund, which is where we'll transfer that to.
Because we had no documentation of a decommissioning.
Right.
Because it hadn't been done yet.
Right. Well,
Is that
it's supposed to
correct?
be after 10 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there still should have been a contract.
There still should have been a contract stating that there's no documentation.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Probably the solar farm to have, not solar farm, solar,
Solar, industrial solar deal.
industrial solar.
R3.
That's something that,
Well, they would have had it
First run, that's not a dinner.
They would have put it up front.
they aren't there yet,
I think they were gonna do that.
okay?
Like we'll ever come to it.
They giving up, they giving up.
Too many people against it.
That is Stanley.
This? No. Reduced.
It's a cheap one.
It's a cheapie.
Cheaper sample.
Randy's got a couple, she said they're long. Like,
My wife bought me that Yeti, I'd still be using my old Arctic cheap cup.
you seen here's been one. it.
As big as that stack was, I wasn't sure we was gonna see the end till 2:00.
Just part of it. Angie's got something last minute, I think.
Yeah, a couple of little things. So next year, there's one personal day. And I had people asking last week about if you guys would designate that day to be off Christmas Eve. It helps all the women in the courthouse get ready for Christmas and all that, and if it's designated, now there'll be some it can't be because of shift workers, but it's that way now.
Sure.
So they wondered if you guys would designate before we start the new year and people want to take it January.
So they know.
So they know that that
Yes.
specific
Yeah.
day would be taken off?
Right, to not use it, that it would be for,
That'd be a Wednesday.
Well,
what is it next
What
year? Is it a Wednesday?
24th, 25th, Christmas on Thursday next year.
Yeah, so do that Wednesday.
I don't have any
You
issues
don't
with
get
that.
the day after off,
Yeah, you get Christmas Day off.
not the day after.
No.
That's Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, that's Thanksgiving.
So they get one personal day now, and what day
And
is
that's, but they take it whenever they want to. What they're asking for is that one personal day be designated as Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. I mean, that's, it sounds like, I think.
Instead of having the discretion to take it off, it's
Right.
already designated
It's
for.
already designated for that day.
Probably not very many people working that day anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the parking lot.
Parking lot was empty.
First one was incorrect, the second one there. Phone auto-corrected it for him.
Okay.
Look at it before she said
So
it.
are you guys okay with that then?
I would thought, my comment was there's probably not very many people working on that day anyway.
Right.
But
And
if
then
they-
there's usually not a lot of business in the courthouse, so,
But if we designated that day, then everybody would know, correct?
right.
That'd be fun to
That's
think.
the
That'd be
day.
fine with me. I mean, if we need to make a motion,
Yeah, let's do. Because then that way it's in the meeting.
I mean, as a general consensus,
Sure.
We gotta have a motion for it.
I think having a paper trail always helps.
I knew the answer to that question when I said it.
What you thinking?
Well, that way it also protects Angie so
Yes.
that someone says, well, Angie just did it on her own.
Yeah.
There's a motion, the board made the decision, it's in the minutes, and you can cite back to the minutes where the motion was made.
I would make that motion that we designate Christmas Eve as
2025.
2025, one personal day.
yes, 2025. Yes, one personal day.
I'll second it.
Or however it needs to be worded.
That's perfect.
Okay.
And then I have one last thing.
Not for this, is it?
Huh?
Is it on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Been moved and seconded, for Christmas Eve of 2025 to be personal day, the one personal day for the county employees, if they choose to, I guess, is the wording. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly, so tomorrow you'll be here at 11. We'll get these going. I'm gonna check all the numbers again, just to make sure, hopefully everything's good, as we have in years past. And then we have to have all cash in by noon, so we have to close the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Can't conduct any more business that day. So what we have always done in the past is that once the cash is balanced and we're done here, then employees would go home. The state's closed too, I think, and so there's just nothing else really we can do except sit here and twiddle thumbs. So I don't know if you guys are okay with that, just like normal, or you
I
want.
am. I mean, that's,
Yeah, Yeah,
I mean,
that's
because
fine.
at noon, that's when once the business day is closed, then there's no other business until the first of the year.
Right,
Is that
right,
correct?
yeah, because
Yeah.
we get all the cash in, then the treasury balance is back, and we have to close at noon for
Right.
balancing. And then after that, we can't. I just wanna make sure.
It's always been,
Do that.
the way it's always been.
Well, I had some departments thinking it's not that way, and I said, that's what we have always done, that's what we have to do.
Right.
So, but I wanna make sure you're okay, that you know, when we're done with that, we send people home.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Okay.
yeah, that's
And-
fine.
And then, because it was brought up during the employee handbook, then they're paid for the rest of the day.
Right.
So that, I
Right.
think that was the,
That's what it's always been, we've not ever deducted anyone for that, so. Because it's not their choice that we have to close. Okay, that was all I had.
Anything else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. We'll be here tomorrow at 11. We will recess at 12:33.